all, welcome to another Gearhart Tech video. I'm Brian, and in this one we're going to be making a sentiment analysis using Python. We'll do this by creating a sentiment analysis script that will analyze a file containing comments that were scraped from YouTube. This is technically part 2 to a YouTube comment scraper video that I previously released, but you can still follow along with any list of comments. This script that we're creating today is not only for YouTube comments, it can also be used to analyze the sentiment of any list of comments scraped from a social media platform, movie or product review, or basically anywhere people put their opinions in an online forum. This is very beneficial to perform these types of analysis to get a better idea of overall sentiment being portrayed in a comment section, especially in situations where there are thousands of comments and reading them is not feasible. First, let's take a look at the file we're going to be reading from. For the sake of relevance, I decided to scrape comments from a news video that covers the California wildfires. I figured this would be a good video to use as a sample since it's a highly opinionated topic. Each line here is supposed to represent one user's comment. And we have about 1,700 rows, so plenty of data to work with. Next, we'll take a look at NLTK. NLTK stands for Natural Language Toolkit and is a very popular open source library for natural language processing. For this project, I'm going to be using the Sentiment Intensity Analyzer. This is meant for handling social media text. By that, I mean it can understand slang, hashtags, and emojis, allowing us to easily pass in the text and get our polarity scores. And by polarity scores, I mean we're going to get a dictionary back that has positive, neutral, and negative probabilities, along with a compound score that combines all of them, which we will be using. Without further ado, let's begin building our script. To begin, we're going to be importing NLTK. From NLTK Sentiment, import Sentiment Intensity Analyzer. From NLTK.corpus, import stopwords. From NLTK.tokenize, import word tokenize. And then import string and import RE, or regular expression. Now call NLTK.download stopwords as a lowercase string. You should only need this line the first time you run. Then you should be able to comment this out or remove it. Next, we're actually going to define the list of stopwords, and we'll select English as a lowercase string, as well as the punctuation characters from the string library. And we're going to put these both in sets. And here we're going to define a comment class that we'll use to create comment objects that will contain the comment text, as well as those polarity scores I showed you from NLTK. If you're wondering how I'm just filling in these lines, it's actually an IntelliSense extension for VS Code. It's not always 100% accurate, but I like it. Next, we're going to create 3 lists to store the positive, neutral, and negative comment objects, as well as a list to store the comment strings. Now let's read from our file using the open function. Make sure the encoding is set here, or else it may not work. To pull our comments, we'll use list comprehension. So x.strip for x in file if x.strip is not an empty string. So this is stripping all leading and trailing white spaces as well as empty lines, similar to something like this. Now that we've cleaned up our comments a bit and put them in memory, we can loop through them and pass each comment into the polarity scores function from our sentiment intensity analyzer object. that I actually forgot to initialize. This should return a dictionary, so now we can initialize the comment object with the comment text as well as the scored key values. I forgot to mention this, but these values are correlation coefficients, so they can range from -1 to 1. So if the compound is positive, it indicates positive sentiment, and if it's negative, it indicates negative sentiment. And from here, we're going to insert them into their respective list. If the comments compound is positive, it'll go into the pause comments. If it's negative, to the neg comments. Else, it'll go into the neutral comments since the compound is 0. After all of this executes, we're going to sort our negative and positive comment object lists by their compound scores. I'm going to reverse the positive values and have the greatest compound scores come first. I don't have to do this with the reverse with the negative because the most negative comments are already at the beginning of the list. The reason I did it like this is because now we're going to create a new function that is going to get the x number of most negative or most positive comments. Here I say x because we'll make it as a function parameter so we can easily change it. And inside of this function, I'll use a try except block to catch any case where the list size would be less than x. This way, it'll still return a partial result. There, that should do it. Now that is done, we can come back down here and use our new function to extract the most positive and most negative comments. I'm going to set the x value to 3, so it should return us the 3 most positive and 3 most negative comments. These are going to be useful to display on our report. The next thing we're going to do is count the occurrences of every word in every comment. Not really every word though, only words that are not included in our list of stop words. Stop words, simply put, are just common words that are often used in sentences. Words like and, the, or in, and plenty others, we don't want to include these because they wouldn't give us any insight really on the report. We can do this easily by entering all of our words into a Python dictionary that uses a counter as a value for each word. Then we can just loop through all the comments again. Also, we need to remove punctuation as well, which is why we imported the RE library. And this says here to remove anything that is not a word or a space character. Next, we'll call word tokenize to turn each comment to a list of words. Then filter them again using list expression and remove all the stop words. Now we're going to loop over this list of filtered words. If word.lower is not in the word dictionary, add the lowercase word and set it to 1. Else it was found, so increment the value by 1. So after this runs, we should have a dictionary containing all of the words. The last thing we need to do is get the words that occurred the most. We can do this by using the sorted method on a new dictionary along with slicing to get the top 20. Now that this is done, all we should need to do now is create some type of output. I'm going to output to the terminal. You could also output this to a file or make a graph with it. Since I created 3 separate lists, I can use their length to output how many comments there were of that type and calculate the percentages. Then we can just output the top 20 occurring words. And finally, our top 3 comments and bottom 3 comments. Now let's run it and see what we get. Oh, I need to fix something. Okay, let's try again. And here we go. As you see, we have our negative comments here and then positive ones. And here's the top 20 words. And then at the top, we have our counts and percent breakdown. And everything is looking correct. To review and summarize what we just did, we analyzed the list of comments using the sentiment intensity analyzer. We performed sorting to output key data, and we utilized a dictionary to count the most occurring words. Then we outputted the data in an easy to read way. And that's it for this video. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any feedback, suggestions, comments, or questions, please leave them below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more like this one. Thanks for watching. Peace.